Whether it's unique weapons or powerful buggies, we've covered a lot of Grounded 2. But in order to round out our builds and take advantage of every opportunity, we need to farm just a bit more. My name is Codiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're breaking down the secrets of every trinket currently in the game. If you're a ranged player looking to lean into a Grounded 2 bow build, then you'll want to pick up the Nifty Needle Trinket. This is unlocked after you analyze a Thistle Needle, which you'll have access to at the start of the game. These sturdy plants have a bright pink flower on the top, and you can quickly loot the needles on the stem for the resource. Once you know the recipe, you can craft the trinket at your workbench. When equipped, the Nifty Needle increases the damage dealt from fully charged bow shots, perfect early on if you prefer to keep your bugs at range, especially stink bugs, instead of facing them for melee range. If you head to the southwest corner of Brook Hollow Park, you'll find acorns, a rare resource and something you'll want to harvest every chance you get due to its importance when crafting and base building. However, analyzing an acorn shell also gives you the ability to create the Sturdy Shell Trinket, perfect for all you fighters out there. Once crafted and equipped, the Sturdy Shell reduces the amount of friendly fire damage you receive from your co-op allies, while also increasing your aggro against hostile bugs, making them more likely to attack you. If you're tanking for your group, this is a trinket you'll want to equip. Dropped by both larva and red soldier ants, the acid gland is the key to this next trinket, the Astonishing Acid. Red soldier ants are found primarily in their anthills, a few of which you can find here. However, larvae can be found all over the map, but you can also dig them up from disturbed dirt piles when you hear a loud rustling noise. Once crafted and equipped, the Astonishing Acid grants you Finale damage, which increases the damage of the final hit in your 3-hit combo. This is perfect if you're using faster weapons like the daggers because you get a more powerful offensive strike more often, but it's also a solid overall pick so long as you finish your combos. If you're looking for a niche trinket, then don't overlook the O.R.C Nullifier, which is unlocked during part of the main story quest. When equipped, this trinket empowers your attacks, reducing the damage that O.R.C enemies deal for a limited time when you strike them. This might seem useless in the grand scheme of the game, but when you engage in certain activities, such as the mixer events, there's a real case to be made for using this trinket. Fighting off waves of O.R.C enemies is no joke, and if the first game is any indication, there will be more mixer events in the near future, so having this trinket on hand might not be a bad idea. One of the most powerful trinkets currently in Grounded 2, the Volatile Capacitor, is certainly worth the grind. This is unlocked once you reach Brain Power level 9, currently the highest tier in the game. Brain Power is gained every time you analyze a resource, and to reach level 9, you'll need to have analyzed practically everything in the game so far. However, doing so grants the ability to craft this powerful trinket. When equipped, the Volatile Capacitor adds a flat amount of shock damage to all of your melee attacks. Also, charged attacks against O.R.C enemies overload their receivers, delivering a blast of AoE damage. It's a solid trinket to begin with, but if you're fighting against any O.R.C enemies, you'll really see the power of this trinket come out. Throughout Brook Hollow Park are a number of tokens, each found on or near the body of a dead soldier, also shrunk to your miniature size. It's still a mystery who they are, but obviously it all ties back to Ominent. The first of these strange trinkets is the Myrmecologist token, which is found on the body of the NPC located at the end of the snack bar anthill. It's pretty impossible to miss as it's tied to the main story, but at this point in the game you might not understand what exactly you're looking for. When equipped, this increases your damage against ants, which is great, but also has a negative effect, reducing your resistance to taking damage. This is a potent trinket if ant killing is all you care about, but in most cases won't be nearly as effective as some of the other choices available in the game. The second token you'll most likely encounter is deep within the Spider Den anthill, which is located in the far north of Brook Hollow Park. This trinket is easily missed because it's found after the Memorial Box point of interest, which is where you'll pick up the Crimson Avenger, a unique and, might I say, more interesting one-handed weapon. We have a full video breaking down this and 7 more of the most insane unique weapons in all of Grounded 2, so go check that out. Past the Memorial Box, keep heading towards the exit, but on the left side you'll eventually see a dead soldier slumped in a small alcove. Loot him and the Echo Exploitation token is yours. When equipped, this allows you to haul more items, but also makes you deal less damage to enemy spiders. While potentially useful for base building, I'd be cautious using this during your adventures, as its negative effect is pretty severe. If you're looking for a trinket that rewards you for living on the edge, then look no further than the Roach Rage, an item you receive after defeating General Berserker, a unique cockroach queen found within the Network Center as part of the main quest. It's impossible to miss this enemy if you're following the story, but you should know that only one player will be able to loot this from the mini-boss. When equipped, this trinket increases the damage you deal after being hit while you're at low health. Now that's a bit of a tricky trinket to utilize correctly, but if you're a defense-first player that's not going to get one-shot by enemy bugs, this could be useful for squeaking out just a bit more damage. Grounded 2 features a number of trinkets that drop randomly by killing certain enemies or harvesting specific resources. Almost every enemy in the game has a unique trinket you can obtain, so for the rest of this video, we'll cover those items. Just be warned, these do seem to have a very low drop chance, so for ones that are enemy-based, having the respective stuffed bug for a little extra luck can go a long way. We talk about this and much more in our Wish I Knew Sooner tips and tricks video, already up on the channel. Looted from the full-sized Northern Scorpions, the Stabby Stinger is a powerful trinket with the effect Finale Venom. When equipped, this empowers the third attack in your combo to apply Venom, a damage over time effect that can quickly chip away at an enemy's health. Considering the dot is the most powerful part of this trinket, you'll want to pair this with fast attack speed weapons like daggers. A unique trinket that drops from blue butterflies, the Shivering Scale taps into their special chilling attack. When equipped, the Shivering Scale empowers charged melee attacks, adding a chill effect to their strike. Once the chill builds up, enemies are frozen, locking them out of all action for a short period of time. I could see this trinket working on a number of weapons, and since it's tied to a charged attack, you don't have to be as worried about the speed of your melee weapons. One of the more rare resources in the game, if you harvest enough feathers with your tier 2 Omniacs, you'll eventually find the fancy Fletching, a powerful trinket that ranged players are definitely going to want to hunt down. When equipped, this increases the speed at which you charge your bow, which means more arrows down range, which ultimately means more DPS. We're not ranking trinkets here, but if you're a ranged player, this is easily at the top of the list. If adding a little freshness to your damage is something you're interested in, then you might want to farm for the Suspicious Mint, which has a low chance to drop when harvesting fresh mints found throughout Brook Hollow Park. When equipped, the Suspicious Mint adds a flat amount of fresh damage to your melee attacks, which is great if you're going up against enemies like stink bugs, ladybugs, mosquitoes, or any of the enemy bugs weak to fresh damage. As more enemies get added to the game, this will be a trinket you'll want to keep close by in case we have to adjust our builds to counter specific enemies. We've harvested a lot of spicy candy during our time with Grounded 2, and eventually we were rewarded with the unique trinket, the Spectacular Spicy Shard. I really like this because when equipped, all of your melee attacks get a flat amount of spicy damage added to them. This is a great foundational item if you're going for a spicy-based build, and I can't stress the number of enemies that are weak to spicy damage. Don't believe me? Check out our Ultimate Bug Guide video already on the channel, because some of the most powerful enemies, looking at you, Wolf Spider, are weak to spicy damage. This next trinket is pretty unique. The fluffy Dandelion Tuft can be obtained randomly from harvesting dandelions. What else? When equipped, this grants you an infinite use of the Dandelion Glider, which, while not super practical, is a nice thing to have. If there were 2 trinket slots in the game, this might occupy a permanent spot, but in this case, you might just want to keep it in your bags for those rare times you end up high enough with no accessible way down. This one isn't about power, but pure quality of life. One of my low-key favorite trinkets in the game, the Blistering Boiler, is found from the ever-deadly Bombardier Beetles found throughout the park. When equipped, you gain the Finale Blast Wave effect, which empowers the last hit of your 3-hit combo, sending out a blast wave of sizzling damage. Give me an AoE sizzle attack any day of the week, and I'm there. While definitely not the best trinket from a min-max perspective, it's certainly powerful in almost any scenario where there are multiple bugs. If you're looking for one of the rarest trinkets in the game, look no further than the Cleaving Claw, which is a rare tier 3 drop from the Praying Mantis Nymph. As you might know, these bugs are incredibly rare and can only be found in a few select spots throughout Brook Hollow. When equipped, this trinket greatly increases your critical hit chance with two-handed weapons against creatures at low health. It seems niche, but really this is a boss killer trinket. As we all know, that last 10% of an enemy's health always seems to take the longest, and a few lucky crits could mean the difference between life and death. Paired with something like the spicy Coltana weapon, something we cover in our unique weapons video already on the channel, this trinket is an absolute beast. The final trinket on our list is perhaps my favorite, not because it makes me a killer, but because it completely removes one of my least favorite survival aspects of the game, hunger. Now I know that's part of any good survival game, but hunger in Grounded 2 can be debilitating as it's tied to your overall stamina pool. The everlasting Hogstopper can be found by harvesting the various hot dogs found throughout the park. You'll need a rank 2 Omniax, but eventually, after many destroyed dogs, you'll get this rare trinket. When equipped, your hunger meter will fill up over time, ensuring you never have to eat again, so long as you have the trinket equipped. This is another one of those that you can pop on and off as needed, making room for some other trinkets with more direct combat benefits. So there you have it, every trinket currently in the game, where to find them, and their awesome effects. As always, if you appreciate the work that goes into making these guides, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and consider subscribing. We'll have more Grounded 2 in your feed soon, so keep it here and never miss a thing. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.